Uncover the mysteries of afterlife ideologies, from the glimpse of the iceberg to its enigmatic depths. Are you prepared to plunge into the unknown? Let's begin. Scene 2. Exploring the Elysian Fields. A glimpse into Greek afterlife. Welcome to our second scene, where we delve into the ancient Greek concept of the afterlife, the Elysian Fields. This ideology is one of the oldest, dating back to the time of Homer. The Elysian Fields, also known as the Elysium, represent the final resting place of the souls deemed worthy of paradise. As we navigate through this journey, we will be showing you a series of images and videos that encapsulate the essence of this ideology. First, let's take a look at the ancient Greek pottery, where scenes from the Elysian Fields were often depicted. Notice the serene landscapes, the people engaged in peaceful activities. This was their vision of the afterlife, a place of eternal happiness and tranquility, free from the hardships of mortal life. But how did one qualify for such a blissful afterlife? The Greeks believed that those who led virtuous lives and those who were heroic in their actions were granted access to the Elysian Fields. And it was not just limited to humans. Even horses, loyal companions in life and on the battlefield, were believed to have a place in this paradise. Let's explore further into the heart of Elysium. The fields were said to be located at the ends of the earth where the sun sets. They were described as a land of perfect happiness, where the sun always shone and the breezes were forever gentle. Sounds like the perfect vacation spot, doesn't it? But the Elysian Fields weren't just about eternal relaxation. The Greeks envisioned an afterlife where one could continue their favorite activities. Whether it was music, poetry, or sports, the Elysian Fields had it all. As we conclude our exploration of the Greek afterlife, it's interesting to note how this ancient ideology still influences our modern perceptions of the afterlife. The concept of a paradise for the virtuous and heroic is one that resonates with many cultures even today. So, is the idea of the Elysian Fields an appealing one? Or do you prefer a different kind of afterlife? Let us know in the comments below, but before we wrap up, remember that our exploration of the iceberg of afterlife ideologies is far from over. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back. As we continue our exploration into the iceberg of afterlife ideologies, we now turn our focus to the East. In our third scene, we're going to take a deep dive into the concept of afterlife in Buddhism, a journey into nirvana. The term nirvana is derived from the ancient Indian languages of Pali and Sanskrit and translates to extinguishing or unbinding. But what does it signify? In Buddhism, nirvana is considered the ultimate goal, a state of liberation from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth known as samsara. As we move forward, we will show you a series of images and videos that encapsulate the essence of this ideology. Let's start with the Buddha himself. Siddhartha Gautama, who later became the Buddha, was the first to attain nirvana. His journey to enlightenment, depicted in many Buddhist art forms, is a testament to the path one must take to reach this state. But attaining nirvana is no easy task. It requires one to follow the Noble Eightfold Path, a set of guidelines for moral conduct, mindfulness, and wisdom. As we navigate through the different steps of the path, depicted in various Buddhist art forms, notice the emphasis on ethical living, understanding the true nature of reality, and cultivating a compassionate heart. Now let's delve deeper into the concept of nirvana. Unlike the Elysian Fields, nirvana is not a physical place but a state of existence. It is described as a state of profound peace, free from suffering, desire, and the concept of self. It is the ultimate liberation from the chains of samsara, the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. As we wrap up our journey into nirvana, consider this. The idea of nirvana offers a compelling alternative to the Western concept of an eternal paradise. It highlights the potential for liberation and peace right here in this life, not just in an afterlife. Does the concept of nirvana resonate with you? Or do you have a different perspective on the afterlife? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, our exploration of the iceberg of afterlife ideologies is far from over. Stay tuned as we venture further into this fascinating topic in our next scene. Until then, safe travels on your journey of discovery. Welcome back, explorers of the unknown. We're moving from the east to the ancient sands of Egypt for our fourth scene. Let's unravel the mysteries of the afterlife according to ancient Egyptian beliefs. The Egyptians had a deeply ingrained belief in the afterlife, which they referred to as the field of reeds. They perceived it as a mirror image of their life on earth, only devoid of any sorrow or pain. To illustrate this concept, we'll show you some ancient hieroglyphs and artifacts that depict the field of reeds as a blissful place filled with abundant crops and a serene river, resembling the Nile. However, reaching this paradise was no easy feat. The soul had to undergo a perilous journey and face several trials. One of the most significant stages of this journey was the weighing of the heart ceremony, depicted in the Book of the Dead. Here, the deceased's heart was weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth. If the heart was lighter, it indicated a life well led, and the soul could proceed towards the afterlife. We will now show you a video clip of a preserved Book of the Dead scroll, where you can see the depiction of this ceremony. Note the intricate details of the artistry, from the scales used to weigh the heart to the deities present, each having a specific role in the ceremony. But what happens if the heart is heavier than the feather? Well, it was believed to be devoured by Ammit, a fearsome beast, leading to the soul's second death. As we wrap up our journey through the ancient Egyptian afterlife, think about how this belief system reflects their culture and values. How does it compare to the Buddhist concept of nirvana we discussed earlier? Which one resonates more with you? Remember to share your thoughts and stay with us as we continue our voyage into the mysteries of the afterlife in our next scene. Until then, safe travels on your journey of discovery. Scene 5. The Norse Vision of the Afterlife. Welcome back, explorers. We've journeyed through the east and the sands of ancient Egypt. Now let's set sail to the icy realms of the north. In this scene, we delve into the Norse vision of the afterlife. The Vikings, known for their fierce warriors and seafaring exploits, had a fascinating perspective on the afterlife. They believed in a variety of realms a soul could end up in, depending on how they lived their lives. The most well-known of these is Valhalla, the Grand Hall of Odin, the All-Father. As we show you this beautifully painted depiction of Valhalla, note the enormous hall filled with warriors, feasting and merrymaking. This was the place for those who died a warrior's death, where they would feast and fight until the end of days. But not all Vikings ended up in Valhalla. Those who led a peaceful life would find themselves in Folkvangr, Freya's realm or Hell, governed by the goddess of the same name. As we transition to a digital reconstruction of these realms, notice the stark contrast between the vibrant, field-filled Folkvangr and the gloomy, desolate Hell. The journey to these realms was not straightforward. The soul had to cross the river Jol, guarded by the maiden Modgud, and pass through the gates of Hell, guarded by Garm, a monstrous hound. Now let's watch a video clip from an animated series depicting this daunting journey. Notice the attention to detail in creating a chilling yet mesmerizing atmosphere. As we conclude our exploration of the Norse afterlife, think about how their beliefs reflect their societal values and lifestyle. How do these beliefs compare to the Egyptian and Buddhist concepts we've discussed? Which one do you find more intriguing? Remember to share your thoughts in the comments as we prepare to voyage into our next afterlife ideology. Stay curious and continue this fascinating journey with us. Until then, safe travels. Welcome back, explorers. As we leave the icy realms of the north, we now journey to the sunny climes of ancient Mexico. In this scene, we delve into the Aztec vision of the afterlife. The Aztecs, known for their grand pyramids and intricate calendars, had a unique perspective on the afterlife. They believed in a treacherous journey to Mictlán, the realm of the dead ruled by the god Mictlantecutli and his consort Mictecacihuatl. Now, as we overlay a digital sketch of Mictlán over an ancient Aztec codex, notice the 9 distinct levels representing the different stages of this journey. The Aztecs believed that upon death, the soul had to navigate these 9 levels over a period of 4 years. Each level presented its own unique challenges, such as crossing a mountain range where the mountains crashed into each other, a field where the wind blew razor-sharp obsidian blades, or a river filled with the blood of past wanderers. Now, as we transition to a haunting animation of these trials, notice the intricate details capturing the terrifying yet mesmerizing journey. While this journey was fraught with peril, it was not without aid. The Aztecs believed that the deceased were guided by a dog, a gift from the god Xolotl, who would help them navigate these dangers. As we show a beautifully carved statue of Xolotl, notice the dog's likeness, a symbol of loyalty and guidance in the Aztec culture. As we conclude our exploration of the Aztec afterlife, think about how their beliefs reflect their societal values and lifestyle. The Aztec afterlife was a test of endurance, a reflection of their harsh and challenging environment. How do these beliefs compare to the Norse, Egyptian, and Buddhist concepts we've discussed? Which one do you find more intriguing? Remember to share your thoughts in the comments as we prepare to voyage into our next afterlife ideology. Stay curious and continue this fascinating journey with us. Until then, safe travels. Welcome back, fellow explorers. As we journey on in our exploration of afterlife ideologies, we find ourselves in the cradle of Western civilization, ancient Greece. The Greeks had a unique and intricate belief system regarding the afterlife, which is mirrored in their rich mythology and philosophical discourses. As we show you a digitally reconstructed image of an ancient Greek amphora, notice the detailed depiction of Charon, the ferryman of Hades, who carries souls of the newly deceased across the rivers Styx and Acheron that divided the world of the living from the world of the dead. Now, as we transition to a map of the ancient Greek underworld, notice the different realms. Those who led virtuous lives were thought to reside in the Elysian fields, a paradise akin to heaven. On the other hand, those who committed grave sins were confined to the fields of punishment, a place of eternal torment. Let's delve deeper. As we overlay an animation of the judgment of souls, see how three judges, Minos, Rhadamanthus, and Aeacus, decide the fate of each soul based on their deeds in life. Notice the balance scales, a symbol of justice, reflecting the Greek belief in moral accountability. Next, we transition to a 3D model of the Asphodel Meadows, a place for ordinary souls who neither committed heinous crimes nor achieved great deeds in life. It was a place of neutrality, neither a punishment nor a reward. Lastly, we show an artistic rendition of Cerberus, the three-headed dog who guards the entrance to Hades, preventing the dead from escaping. Notice the ferocity in its eyes, a symbol of the inescapability of death and the afterlife. As we conclude our journey through the Greek afterlife, think about how their beliefs exhibit a clear moral code, reflecting the philosophical ideologies of ancient Greece. How do these beliefs compare to the Aztec, Egyptian, Buddhist, and Norse concepts we've discussed? What resonates with you the most? Remember to share your insights in the comments as we prepare for our next afterlife adventure. Until then, safe travels. Welcome back, fellow explorers. Continuing our voyage through the afterlife ideologies, let's set sail for the frosty landscapes of the Norse. The Vikings, the seafaring warriors of Scandinavia, held a fascinating belief system surrounding death and the afterlife. As we transition to a digitally reconstructed image of a Viking burial site, notice the intricate carvings on the runestones, telling tales of heroic deeds and valor. The Vikings believed that the way you lived your life, and more importantly the way you died, decided your fate in the afterlife. Let's delve deeper. As we transition to a beautiful illustration of Valhalla, the Hall of the Slain, you can see the mighty warriors feasting and battling in preparation for the final battle, Ragnarok. The bravest who died in battle were chosen by the Valkyries to join Odin in Valhalla. Now, as we move to a serene painting of Folkvangr, another heavenly realm ruled by the goddess Freya, we see the other half of those who died in combat, chosen to stay there. It's the Norse belief in the valorization of heroism and bravery in the face of death. But what about those who did not die in battle? As we transition to an animation of Helheim, the realm of the dishonorable dead, notice the gloomy, cold landscape. This was the place for those who died of old age or sickness. Lastly, let's look at an artistic rendition of Nidhogg, the dragon who gnaws at the roots of the world tree, Yggdrasil, symbolizing the inevitability of death and decay. As we wrap up our journey through the Norse afterlife, think about the emphasis on bravery and honor in their beliefs. How does this compare with the Greek, Aztec, Egyptian, and Buddhist concepts we've discussed? What resonates with you the most? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments as we set our sails towards our next afterlife adventure. Until then, safe travels. Welcome back, fellow wanderers of the ethereal realms. As we continue our exploration, we now turn our gaze to the vast expanse of Australia and delve into the mystical beliefs of the Aboriginal people. Their concept of the afterlife is intricately woven into the fabric of what they call the dream time. As we transition to a stunning aerial shot of the Australian outback, let's delve into this fascinating ideology. The Aboriginal people believe that the dream time is a sacred era in which ancestral totemic spirit beings formed the creation. As we transition to a digitally reconstructed image of an Aboriginal cave painting, notice the depictions of these totemic beings. They are believed to have created the landscape and the laws for social and moral order. Now let's explore their beliefs surrounding death and the afterlife. Unlike many cultures we've covered, the Aboriginal people do not perceive death as the end, but rather as a transition. As we transition to a serene painting of the Australian night sky, let's delve into this concept. They believe that upon death, a person's spirit returns to the dream time from where it will eventually be reborn. To illustrate this, let's transition to an animation showing the journey of a spirit. Notice how it leaves the body, travels through various landscapes, and finally merges with the dream time. This cycle of death, journey, and rebirth is a fundamental part of their belief system, symbolizing the perpetual cycle of life, death, and rebirth. As we wrap up our journey through the Aboriginal Dreamtime, ponder upon the cyclic nature of their beliefs. How does this compare with the Norse, Greek, Aztec, Egyptian, and Buddhist concepts we've explored? What aspects resonate with you? As always, we look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. As we set our course for our next ethereal adventure, remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. Until then, safe travels. Scene 10. The Hindu Cycle of Rebirth. Welcome back, dear explorers of the unknown. As we continue our spiritual journey across continents, we now set our sights on the vibrant land of India, home to Hinduism, one of the world's oldest religions. As we transition to a panoramic view of the majestic Himalayan range, let's delve into the intricate web of Hindu beliefs surrounding death and the afterlife. The Hindus believe in a cyclical concept of time where life, death, and rebirth are part of an eternal wheel known as samsara. As we transition to a detailed digital animation of this wheel, notice the intricate design symbolizing various life stages and experiences. The ultimate goal in Hinduism is to escape this cycle and reach a state of liberation known as moksha. But how does one achieve moksha? It is believed that it's through the accumulation of good karma. As we transition to a simplistic animation demonstrating the concept of karma, notice how the balance of good and bad actions influences the journey of the soul. Upon death, the soul, or Atman, leaves the body and enters a temporary realm before being reborn. This is determined by the karma accumulated in past lives. As we transition to a mesmerizing animation showing the journey of the Atman, notice how it traverses through different realms, guided by its karma. The cycle of samsara continues until the soul has achieved moksha, freeing it from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, uniting it with the ultimate reality, or Brahman. As we transition to a serene painting of a soul merging with the cosmos, let's reflect upon this profound concept. How does this compare with the dream time of the Aboriginal people, or the afterlife ideologies of the Norse, Greek, Aztec, Egyptian, and Buddhists we've previously explored? Are there aspects of Hindu beliefs that resonate with you? As we wrap up our journey through the Hindu afterlife, we look forward to hearing your thoughts. Remember, the journey isn't over, it merely transforms. Until our next adventure, safe travels.